Welcome back for another episode of Uncut and Unfiltered. Today we are going to dive into Glen Scotia. It is an absolute gem from Campbeltown. Often overlooked because of the hype that surrounds Springbank. Springbank's great, don't get me wrong. Love Springbank. Can talk about Springbank all day long. Glen Scotia is phenomenal though. And I think that what we're going to uncover here is a range. These are kind of, by and large, limited editions, right?
3.
Yeah, we've got some core range in there.
4. Yeah, there's 2 core range.
It's 2 core range, 4 sort of limited edition or IB or whatever. Yeah, cool. I think what we're going to find from this lineup is that Glen Scotia offers a lot. It's a really, really cool distillery, and I'm really excited for today.
The underdog of Campbeltown.
Yeah, it is a bit. It is. I don't like starting the episode like that, but I just feel like sometimes it is kind of
Everyone likes the underdog, though, you know.
You say that, but people are always bigging up Springbank or like complaining about Springbank, but no one then goes, oh, I tell you what, I'll just buy some Glen Scotia instead.
Do you know what, though? Like, I feel like as I got into my whiskey journey, and like a few years ago, I'm going to say like, I don't know, 2018, even Springbank was like regularly available, and it was mostly for people like in the know. It was a bit of like a nod, wink, wink. You're a bit of an expert, you know, and then it fucking whoomph took off.
Right.
But not even being kind of dragged along by the popularity, Glen Scotia has totally got on its own role as well. Like the 25, won like the best whiskey in the world, I think, at the San Francisco Spirits competition in 2019.
Okay.
I'm going to say. And since then, I think they've been on a complete fucking roll themselves. And it's great to see. I mean, I was up with Glen Scotia for the Malts Festival earlier in the year. And it was amazing to see. I was there a couple of years ago, like so many more people on the day, all the events selling out really quickly. People are up there to celebrate Campbelltown now for the festival.
For sure.
Good.
And this is it. I think that Campbeltown as a whole needs to be given a bit more of a shout as opposed to Campbeltown, it's Springbank. I think Glen Scotia is a real winner. Obviously, you've got Glengyle there as well. Kilkerran is a great single malt, and we've all got a lot of love for that. But yeah, good. I'm glad to hear that, mate. I mean, you're right. I think they won Distillery of the Year a couple of years ago or something as well.
Yeah.
And
They've done such a good job of reinventing themselves, right? I mean, they've been going since, I'm going to say, probably the late 1800s, right? Mothballed, closed down a couple of times.
1823. 32, got the numbers the
long
wrong
time,
way around.
nearly 200 years, right? Obviously, they've been closed down a couple of times, mothballed a few times.
Yep.
but they have
But in the last
survived
20
through Campbelltown's
Yes,
sort
they
of, the whole issue there, they're still around, which says a lot. Campbeltown was the whiskey capital of the world. Now there's 3 distilleries, granted more being built, whatever, fine, great. But like, it's only just about a region, and Glen Scotia has a big part to play.
Well, that was originally why Glengyle was set up, purely to keep Campbelltown as a region.
Yeah.
And, there's more distilleries coming, which is great for the area, great for the region, great for whiskey.
And doesn't Glen Scotia own the name Glengyle? Am I getting that right?
No.
Because they can't label the...
I think you're right. Bottling rights for Glengyle. Is it Glen Scotia that owns it?
Yeah, no, Glen Scotia, I think, own the distillery naming rights to Kilkerran, but not the bottling rights. Or it's the other way around with Glengyle.
Yeah, they own the bottling rights, but not the distillery name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Correct. So Springbank have Glengyle that they bottle under Kilkerran.
Yeah.
So there we go. Again, Glen Scotia propping up Campbelltown even more so.
Yeah. So they're part of the Loch Lomond group. And yeah, I mean, look, a real gem. Let's pour ourselves a dram. Where are we starting with this shit? Let's go.
Campbelltown Harbour. It's the entry level.
Entry level? Let's do it. All right,
40%, no age statement. I believe, from when I was there at the dinner speaking to Ian McAllister, that this is aged an average of like 5 to 7 years.
Okay.
In bourbon casks? Yes, after maturation in first fill bourbon casks. So effectively the dinner bottling this year was a 5-year-old first fill bourbon cask. obviously single cask at cask strength. And he was basically saying that what they tried to do was create a cask strength Campbelltown harbour.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting.
As the festival theme this year was kind of celebrating the humble bourbon cask. And I think the thing that I find most interesting about Scotia at the minute is their cask policy and their cask management. So obviously, even 15, 20 years ago, very much a whiskey for blending. There has been core ranges around for a while. There's some really funky coloured bottlings, which you occasionally see on auction with Highland Coups from about 15 years ago. But I think kind of prior to about 2000 or so, it was quite difficult to find as a single malt. But as they've increasingly bottled it as a single malt, the cask policy, the types of casks being used, etc., have gone like whoomph. And the quality of the casks being used are phenomenal. And I think that was the interesting thing as well. So like seeing a whiskey from an old school distillery where they're happy to sit there and bottle it and proud of it, 5 years old, with an age statement even on that, is obviously unusual. You see it occasionally. Obviously, we've talked about Mickle Tor and what Billy's doing at Glenallachie, but you don't see that from a lot of people. You occasionally see an 8, a 9, 10, etc. But you're not really seeing someone from a distillery that's been around for 200 years proudly going 5.
No, you're right. You're right. And I think that is, definitely something, props to them, right? Let's be a bit more exciting. Let's have a bit of a play around. Let's see what the juice is doing at these different ages. What I like about this lineup as well, again, a lot of distilleries will go 10, 12, 15, 18, whatever. We've got a 9, we've got an 11, we're not shy, cask strength, watering it down a bit. Sorry,
It's blocked.
Okay. All right. Sorry. So yeah, I just think it's interesting that you feel that their cask policy has become it's gone from strength to strength as well, though, Ian. That's something that I think normally is the opposite way, just because output,
Yep.
the clamour for good quality casks now from any and all provenance. It's just ridiculous.
They put a lot into it, and again, speaking to Ian's often obviously the face of the distillery, but you've also got people like Michael Henry, and there was some crazy. I've forgotten most of their names now. There's some incredible women working there who are looking after single cask picks and some of the other cask elements as well. Who I had the pleasure of meeting up there. Like, they are really passionate about what they're doing. They're really passionate about the quality of what they're doing, and I think part of why they're doing that is because of the demand on the industry, as you're saying, that they're understanding that they don't have a huge amount of old stock, right? And so that they need to try and make sure they've got quality that they're confident in and happy with at a younger age. So I think you're going to see, a continuation of things like these special releases at 9, 10s, 11s. You're not going to see 20 or 30-year-old festival editions beyond very limited, very expensive things, mostly for collectors.
For sure.
Well, they would just become unattainable.
But that's the thing that's nice about it, right? Is that you can pick up a bottle without crying, or having to take out a mortgage or whatever.
11-year-old, I think, was 55 quid.
Yeah. That's last year's, right? And such an incredible bottle that we'll come on to. I mean, I've got my bottle there. I've also got another sealed bottle up north.
Yep.
We've got enough of them.
I had a bottle of it, I bought a bottle myself of that 2021 one as well, and I've bought myself the G&M that we shall finish off with as well. Obviously, that's been out of my own pocket. I like it as a distillery a lot.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. What do we think of this?
It's all right.
As an entry level,
it's all right. Yeah,
there's something I can't quite put my finger on within it. It's kind of biscuits. But there's something that I'm not getting.
Biscuits for sure. There's a little bit of kind of just ever so slightly.
Thank you.
Sea spray kind of and a little bit of salt.
Okay. Yeah.
And brine.
There's something else.
A bit of putty.
I get like a metallic-ish taste, to it. There at the end. I mean, look, it's their it's their entry level, right? Isn't it? The entry
40?
level bottle.
40%.
40%.
It's about £25 a bottle.
I think for
on
40
sale.
On sale, is it more than
37,
that?
yeah.
37. Oh, okay.
That's a bit punchier. I was going to say 25 quid, even 30 quid.
I might be wrong.
40%. I think what's nice about this is at 40%, it's not too thin. There's a good bit of depth there. I'm not sure I'm appreciating what's going on. And I think it's because I'm trying to figure out what it is that I'm tasting. It's like the back end. It goes through this biscuity bit. It's almost like a weird touch of sulfur, maybe. Are you getting that at all? I seem to
Not sulfur.
enjoy my sulfur a lot.
There's a little bit of...
There's a little bit of smoke.
Yeah, a little bit of smoke, a little bit of kind of slightly funkiness, which I think is maybe the putty-ish stuff I was picking up.
That's what you're doing.
And maybe
yeah.
that's
what I'm struggling with.
Yeah, maybe that's the sulfur that you're picking up.
It's
Yeah,
nice though.
37 quid.
But for okay, 37 quid.
Yeah.
Even for 37 quid. I mean, we talk about whiskies nowadays, 30, 35, 37, 40, you know. It's all pretty reasonable, I would say. That's not bad. I think that's quite nice.
It's decent.
Where did you pick this up? Supermarket?
Auction.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
How much you paid for it?
No more than 30 quid. So, yeah. With the commission.
It's quite
The
nice.
fees that they put on top.
Yeah.
Apologise for the background noise here, guys. We have the windows on here just because it's a very hot summer's day, so you're going to hear all sorts of things going on in the background. Do apologise for that.
Absolutely toasting. I'd actually also like to just take the opportunity, seeing as we're getting stuck into another episode here now, just to say we are enjoying this beautiful Glen Scotia out of our wonderful Glen Cairn glasses. Still very new for us here in the studio. We've got a sponsor. There is a link in the description below. As we discussed on our last episode, we did some great cocktails. Hopefully you enjoyed that. You're enjoying the summer. It's not too hot where you are. But as we said, we got sent some beautiful goodies and we decided, as opposed to taking a commission payment from Glen Cairn, we would send the whole savings onto yourselves so you can get a 20% off your first order with Glen Cairn. You could buy some beautiful Capitas like this, some standard Glen Cairns, or just go into their glassware. Do what I did, stock out your whole kitchen. I've got some great highballs, got some great pint
That's
glasses.
what crystalware as well, isn't it?
Dude, these are all crystal.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah,
love about
Mate,
it. Dude.
I've had like crystal Glen Cairns at home for ages. There's a great weight to them as well.
Yeah, they
That's
do.
exactly
feel
it,
good.
man. It's a really
They
nice
do
way
feel
to it.
good.
Yeah.
Thanks. Shout out to Glen Cairn.
Big shout out Glen Cairn. They are our sponsor now, and we want to continue that. So please make sure if you are looking, what sort of glassware should I buy? A nice present for someone even. Log into Glen Cairn, and you will get a really beautiful little present for
What
yourself
I'd really
or
like
somebody
is
else.
a dishwasher sponsor next, actually. Because I take hundreds of glasses at home. every
Yeah,
month.
no, this is. Well, we got a load of fresh ones now, so there you go.
Yeah.
Just watch.
So yeah, if anyone from Finnish is watching, then reach out to Stevie and
Look, I think it has a place. And someone said to me today, I think it was Chris, Risky Chris, who's going to come on the show next time we're all together down south. This was the, what was his words exactly? This is what just got him right into Glen Scotia.
the Campbeltown Harbour.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Campbeltown Harbour. I think it has a place. It's a little bit kind of just like brine water for me and smoke.
Yeah.
You know?
I think you can do worse than that.
You can do worse, but I think it has a great place. You know, if you're getting into whiskey, it's another variety of whiskey. And also, if you're wanting something, you can't get Springbank, go and pick up a bottle of Glen Scotia, you know. If that's
Yep.
what you really want to get
No,
into.
absolutely.
Sorry, Whiskey Chris, what did he say exactly?
It does still fit into that sort of typical Campbeltown-esque.
Yeah, I
category.
appreciate everything I was saying about younger whiskey that they're happy to put out. I kind of feel like there's still. Is there a 10-year-old still, or is this replaced it? I think there was a 10-year-old.
Yeah, no, I don't think there is anymore.
Yeah.
Good question.
There's a
right,
double
man.
cask, which is the next one up from this.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, okay,
yeah, and I think there's 2 double casks.
Yeah, there's a rum double cask now that I've not had before.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought, I saved my money because Jake will just spit out. Sorry, Chris, you didn't say it was the Harbour. You said it was the Victoriana.
Oh, the Victoria. Okay.
That
yeah,
was
fair
my
enough.
mind-opening dram. So there we go, Glen Scotia. You have opened a mind somewhere to whiskey.
That's
But
the kind of enthusiasts NAS one because it's normally like 50-something%, that one.
yeah, I think you're
And
right.
talking of 50-something%, we've now got the 9-year-old from the festival this year, the Fino release.
And speaking of
56.2.
sponsors, we actually we got sent this as a complimentary bottle. This is your bottle, is it, Stevie?
Yeah, sorry, it's this year's.
This is this year's.
Indeed, it is.
So we
yeah,
got
indeed it
sent
is.
very kindly. Who was this from?
This is from Jen at Big Partnership.
It was a big partnership. That's it.
was a big
It wasn't
partnership,
direct
yeah.
from
Shout
Glen
out to
Scotia.
Big Partnership.
Big partnership. The PR company that are currently working with Glen Scotia and the Loch Lomond Group. They very kindly got in contact with us here at Uncut and with Ian, with all three of us, and basically sent us. They sent us a couple of bits. I got the Glen Scotia, this one, and I also got the
Open Day.
Loch Lomond Open.
Yeah, the Chardonnay finish.
Correct.
Not Open
Not the
Day.
25-year-old.
Yeah, it was for the open
There's
golf.
a 25-year-old
Yeah,
that looks
should open
very,
golf,
very
yeah.
tasty. But they sent us the Chardonnay finish, which I actually really fucking enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
I-
This one I've struggled with a little bit more.
Did you see the tasting notes for this? Do you
No.
remember the tasting notes for this?
those-
Fuck me.
What?
Yeah.
Like overly embellished or
No,
non-existent?
complete opposite.
Non-existent.
Yeah, their own tasting notes. Sorry
right,
to go
okay.
in, Glen Scotia.
What, in terms of what it is on the back?
Go for it. Let's see if it matches up.
A fresh and floral dram with notes of lemon citrus, white orchard fruits, and oak spice. A long and satisfyingly dry finish with a subtly maritime quality.
Right. Non-existent. I wrote some notes down for this when I got it because I wanted, and I think there was a thing going around on Insta because everyone went in on those tasting notes of like just how thin they were.
Oh, really?
So people started.
That's so... People will fucking complain about anything.
Yeah.
I don't think that's too thin at all, mate, for a tasting note.
It is for me.
Yeah.
I was not happy
What
with
is it
that.
that you want?
Want some
Pages
fucking
and pages.
constructive thought that goes into it.
I don't know, mate. I don't know. I think that's all right. I think it's given you a nice little
Yeah.
overview.
I think I like this a lot.
I think you're being too kind.
Really?
Yeah. Well, no, sorry, not to the dram. Sorry. Once
no,
I
tasting
mean
notes,
the
yeah.
tasting notes. Yeah. The dram, actually, I sit with it for quite a while, and actually, I went into detail myself. I can't remember where I wrote them down, but I find them. But so, did you try this when you were up there at the festival?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Did you like it then?
Yeah, I did, yeah. It's
Too oaky.
Really?
I think so.
There's a fair whack of tannin on the back end.
And it's Fino?
It's Fino, yeah.
Fino. Yeah, it is Fino. Unpeated Fino.
Here we go.
You get the Fino, right? Like it's quite light and nutty. There's a freshness to it. I'm not sure about the white orchard fruits.
So here are my tasting notes, if anyone cares. When I first had it.
We don't.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm off.
Bit thick.
Here we go.
Stevie James.
Yeah. No, I actually said there was a single cream consistency here.
A single cream consistency.
Single cream, yep. Juicy pear, boozy pear tart I had. What else I had? Vanilla sponge, honeycomb, wildflowers, just a bit of ground ginger in there, and I've got here freshly cut pine right at the end there. So yeah, this it is a bit creamy. It's a little bit oaty. And I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I would off the back of their tasting notes, or whoever wrote those tasting notes.
I think the problem for me is last year's pick was so fucking good
Yeah.
that I had in my mind a bar set way up here. Like so fucking high up. And I love Glen Scotia anyway, but a limited edition, something this is 9, last year's one was 11. This is Fino, last year's one was White Port. I was thinking, this is gonna be cool. This is
Got
gonna be,
a lot to live up to.
and that's the problem,
Yeah.
I think. It had too much to live up to from last year. And we'll come on to last year's one in a bit, and I'm very excited to talk about that. For me, I get what you mean. OT, single cream consistency. Like I can, okay. It's just overly oaked for me.
Right.
I don't know what it is, and I don't want to be negative about it. And I'm very grateful that we got sent each each got sent a bottle. I've got my one up north.
But are you getting the Fino come through?
Again, like, I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, okay, but no. It's
But
not
are
like,
you
really?
getting it
Yeah,
through?
I get it, but it's just not a prominent part. None of these, I can agree with everything that you've both said, but none of it becomes prominent. None of it is, to me, it's kind of peppery and unbalanced wood at the end.
Right.
And it's not bad. It's not like that sounds really shit. That sounds so bad. It's not as bad as I'm making it sound, but it's just off.
Sure.
It's off balance. It's off kilter. I don't know why I don't like
With
it.
Fino, I get the same from that Glenallachie that we all loved. A lot of kind of raw cashew. Something I
That
get.
frangipane-esque sort of almost, or no?
That's almond. Like that's kind of more kind of like cooked almonds. Like I'm talking
Yeah.
about like if you were to just buy like
Raw,
unsalted
natural
natural
cashews.
cashews.
Okay.
Because they've got a slightly creamy texture to them. So
Yeah.
I think, that single cream vibe, I'm with you, Stevie.
Yeah, boozy pear. See a bit of boozy fruit in there.
That's the one thing I would say I don't get at all.
More like a
Yeah, the nuts, the cream.
No, I
You
don't
say
really get
freshly cut pine. Yeah, it's just that's what's so like.
at the end there. It's like unpacking an IKEA fucking flat pack, and you know that smell. I don't know why you're laughing. That smell of that cheap fresh pine
Alright.
that you get. It's really overwhelming.
IKEA's not cheap. All right, I have none of that.
I don't think it's pine either. It's plastic wood.
Yeah,
Look, I think they did all right. Because again, what was this? Another 50 odd quid? You know?
I'm going
That's
to
a good
say
question,
this was
actually.
65?
like low 60, 62 to 65. something like that.
Okay.
again, look. Sorry, I don't want to seem like I'm being super negative. It's not bad, and I'm very grateful that we got a bottle sent to each of us. And like I say, I did. I opened mine. I've toyed around with it. I've tried some cocktails. I've gone back to it a few times. Just hasn't quite sat nicely in the glass for me as of yet, and it's still not really. It's fine. It's just, to me, Glen Scotia, even Glen Scotia, the limited editions, like I say, particularly after last year, was up here. But Glen Scotia does hold a high bar for me.
And I feel the distillery spirit has been drowned a little bit here for me. You know, it doesn't come through like it does on what we're probably going to about to taste.
And drowned in Fino or drowned in wood?
I think a bit of both, you know,
Okay.
because I get a bit of both there. Anyway, if anyone at home has had this and you've enjoyed it, or if you haven't enjoyed it, let us know what your thoughts are, because I'll be really interested to know, you know?
Yeah. No, so would I. Definitely. Drop it in the comments. Let us know your thoughts. Equally, what's your favourite Glen Scotia that you've ever tried? Drop that in the fucking comments. I'm interested to hear what sort of lineups we've got there. Shall we move on to the next sires?
Shall we?
Shall we? We have the 15-year-old, fairly recently rebranded.
Yes.
46%.
Sorry. What do we think? I like it.
I've had it. What's interesting here is actually
About the rebrand I'm talking.
Oh, the rebrand.
Not juice, I'm talking looks.
I think it's quite classy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just we often see rebrands and it seems to divide nations. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Glenallachie was like, "Oh my god, what are we doing?" You know, I think this looks really fucking cool.
When was it rebranded, roughly? Was it like in the last year or something, or a while?
In the last couple, certainly.
Two or 3 years, yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, because that's... Oh, yeah, we can see. There we go. 2021, 2023. So...
Yeah, I think
Between
they've moved to these longer labels. They used to have these quite squat ones.
Which suits the bottles much better.
Yeah, and the bottle shape has kind of subtly changed as well. Yeah, I think it's nice. It's classy, stands out. They've still got some different colours and stuff involved. This is quite. So what I'm finding interesting about this is when I was at Glen Scotia,
So,
I was at a what they called a sherry masterclass. I say that like it involved no sherry. It did.
there it is.
With Dave Broom and Ian Callister, and this was paired with I believe it was Oloroso sherry. And
Is this Oloroso matured?
from the colour, it kind of looks like, sherry could or should have been involved. On the front of this, though, it says gently matured in the finest American oak barrels. Sure. Barrels can obviously be a slightly
but
generic
American oak
term, but American oak is obviously a little bit more unusual for sherry. But then, there's no mention of sherry on the back at all. Again, it says finest American oak barrels, giving gentle vanilla oak character, and then it starts going on about more Campbeltown-esque notes. So there's no mention of sherry whatsoever. It's quite dark for something that's bourbon only. And again,
Glen Scotia natural or no?
It's 46%, so it
natural colour there.
Doesn't say it.
That's actually something I'm not sure about. I have no idea. Yeah, there, Stevie. Look like you're just pondering your life there, mate.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Mate.
Doesn't say.
I really like this. I think for a 15-year-old single malt Scotch, 46 or 48. Did you say so? 6. 46%. I think it's beautiful. It's a 46 for a good reason.
Yeah,
it works nicely at the strength. There's a lot of character coming through.
There's a lot more Campbeltown than either of the first two.
Yeah, the balance is way better.
Glen Scotia, I sometimes, similar to some. I mean, both Springbank and Glen Scotia, like that whole Campbeltown funk that people talk about, right? You get kind of notes of, like engine oil, kind of industrial kind of like filth, dirt, right? Like this has got much more of that.
Definitely. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I don't think I've had the 15 before. I think this is my first time, and I'm actually really impressed. I'm glad they haven't watered it all the way down. But like Jake says, it's so well integrated and balanced compared to the other two we've just had. You get that kind of, as you say, that industrialness. You get a bit of the brininess. It's quite silky as well.
Can I say, we've done the Battle of the 12s. We've done the Battle of the 21s. As a Battle of the 15s go, this is a fucking good contender, I would say.
Yeah, I'd be up there, top 3.
Really, really good. How much?
I paid a lot less, but retail is £67, I think.
And you paid how much at auction?
Under 50 quid.
Nice, all rip and everything delivered to your door.
Oh no, I don't know about that. But I bought so many, like the postage was minimal, a couple of quid a bottle. Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah,
this is very, very good.
Even RRP, like
Yeah, 70 quid, 60, 70 quid.
The unfortunate state of affairs is that's still a reasonable price for a 15-year-old nowadays, right?
I mean, some 15-year-olds are pumping out
80, 90, yeah. I mean, I wish I could turn back the clock on prices 5-10 years, but I mean, we're not. It's not going to happen. So, yeah, great.
And do you like the new branding? You do. You're a fan of that, yeah?
I think it's really nice.
Yeah,
and it's not a million miles away. It doesn't alienate
it's
you
not a
from
huge
the brand.
change.
It's like, okay, this is still Glen Scotia, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
No, I really like it. I like the fact that their labels is, each and every single one of those looks a bit different in one way or another. They're all jumping out at you. And so even if you go into their shop and it's all Glen Scotia, you've got different things. And, what's this? What's that? Yeah, for me, I'm an engaged buyer with all things Glen Scotia. I think it's a really, really great liquid. I think it's great branding.
We had a great tour.
Traditional, but it's modern.
Not Roy.
Sorry, what are you saying?
We had a great tour there, didn't we?
That was fucking last minute.
Was that with Hamish?
No.
No, it wasn't with Hamish. It was
not Finley, not Roy.
Finley. That's fucking Springbank, mate.
Springbank. Yeah.
Was it not with the master distiller?
No, it wasn't with Ian.
No, it was.
I thought it was with Ian.
No, it was the distillery manager.
Yes.
Oh Christ! Names escape me.
Anyway,
Let's not do this.
He was awesome.
I tell you what was really awesome about it is we literally turned up there,
fucking
7, 8 a.m. Like,
what's
can we have a tour and can we film it all? And like, do you mind?
Is you left Springbank And there were queues outside the door, tours fucking overlapping, going on. You go to Glen Scotia, we were the only ones there all morning.
Listen, that was first thing in the morning, though. Like,
No, but my point being
But
is,
again, no, there is that difference.
you know,
There is that
and I bet
difference.
you there are fucking people that have gone down to Campbeltown and not even gone into Glen Scotia.
Yeah, what a fucking waste.
Which is a waste, absolute waste.
Yeah, massively.
Right?
And we picked up, well, you picked up that distillery exclusive there, which is a fucking sensational bottle of
There was
whiskey.
2 of them. So that's the Tawny Port one, I think.
Yeah.
There was another one. And then I think I bought you one.
I got the Tawny Port.
I got you the Tawny Port. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
There's something else as well.
Well,
I
it's
think there
just
was a 5 and a 6.
Yeah, you grabbed
or
something else.
A
But that
Tawny Port and
5,
something
mate.
else? Or a...
Jeez, I've still got a bottle.
Yeah.
Because I got 2. And I was meant to give one to a friend, and I had the first one and thought,
Fuck you.
no way.
You're not that good a friend, motherfucker. Yeah, no, absolutely.
But
Fair play, man,
yeah,
fair
and
play.
again, it was reasonable, you know. It was 90 odd quid or something for a single cask distillery exclusive.
Yeah.
But, but yeah, no, they've done well. They've done well. They've done just such a great job in the last sort of couple of decades, reinvented themselves, right?
Yeah, well, and this is kind of what I was saying as well. Like, there's a bit of something for everyone. There's peated, there's unpeated, there's the occasional heavily peated stuff. So they kind of have, you know, there's no triple distillation going on, but beyond that, they are able to do kind of
A
everything.
bit of something for everyone.
Bit of
yeah.
something for everyone, similar to Springbank. They just don't have it under 3 different.
I want to try more of their heavily peated stuff. I haven't tried enough of that.
There's not much of it.
No, I know. But that's what, because to me, like I said, there is definitely, and we moved, you know, from the harbour now, this 15. This is Campbeltown. This is Campbeltown. This is undeniable. Location, right? I think the heavily peated, and maybe like the heavily peated, like that last one was unpeated Fino. Maybe a heavily peated Fino, you know, maybe it was the wood before the Fino. I don't know what's going on with that didn't quite sit well with me. But I think a heavily peated something or other in a white port, in a Fino.
I think they're only doing, I remember this. So this is something I found out on my second tour. Like, often I don't do a second tour of a place, but, you know, you sometimes, you know, you learn something else, right?
Mate, I'll do as many tours as someone will have me for, mate. I'll keep coming back.
Normally I don't do a second tour.
Glendronach, definitely.
Glendronach I've done like 4 times. Yeah, don't worry. They basically they've got 2 big malt bins at Glen Scotia, right? The standard is they have one with unpeated malt and another with kind of like a medium peat malt.
Yeah.
And then they will sometimes effectively blend the malt to kind of get the ppm they want. So they're only really doing heavily peated runs like once or twice a year,
right?
Like, because effectively then they've got to try and get the balance right of what's in the malt bin to be able to do it,
right?
So the ppm varies depending on what they're trying to do and whether it's like a mix of unpeated and peated barley. But yeah, I think they seem to be moving away a little bit from some more of the heavily peated runs. So I wonder whether we might see less of that. I don't know.
Interesting. That's a shame. I'd like to see more of that. But c'est la vie. It's a very, very, very good contender for the 15-year-old Battle of.
It's just another great entry level dram, a lot different.
Do you know what? I'm going to say something.
Glendronach.
That's
15,
so weird that you just said that. The current 15-year-old Glendronach, that outdoes it.
Wow.
Done.
Nah, that's.
I don't even need to taste them
I
side
don't
by
think you're
side.
thinking, mate. I think the heat is getting to you here, mate.
Ha! No,
Think
sir.
about what you're saying.
Sir, take
I don't
off thy cap
disagree,
and fucking
and
think
I don't
straight.
agree.
No, you've
Let some
constricted
blood go to your head.
you constricted your brain a little bit too much there, mate. Honestly, that 15-year-old, as it stands, beats the current Glendronach
It's
15.
good. It's really fucking good. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just worried
Don't worry,
that
mate.
you'll regret that.
No, I won't regret it. Don't worry. It's okay.
Right.
What are we
Ian
moving on to,
has
sire? You've cracked open another.
Yeah, we have the
I actually opened those last night. Anyway.
Campbeltown Malts Festival from 2021, limited edition.
Oh, this is another Campbeltown
Yeah.
malts. Fucking hell, we've got a few malt festival
Yeah.
editions, haven't we?
But they're the big releases. There's normally like, you know, thousands of bottles. They are released in stores, often before the Malts Festival.
But then they
by
do
few
like
weeks.
a little jobby.
And then there's often
event.
like, something for people who are there as well, right?
Aye.
So, you know, they're always cask strength. It tells you exactly what you get on the tin.
So this is the job at the event.
No. This was the big.
This is the massive.
This was the big release from
go on.
2021.
Okay,
So Bordeaux red wine cask finish.
that's enough. Pour me a glass.
10 years old, unpeated again, 56.1.
Let's go. Fresh glass, please.
I'd like a fresh glass. please.
Amazing. Bordeaux, 10-year-old. I didn't even listen to the rest of it. Ian, tell me how strong it is again.
56.1.
56.1. You're speaking my language, sire. And sorry, Bordeaux finish just.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only thing that I think Glen Scotia could take a little leaf out of Bruichladdich book and start just fresh filling these things. You know, this Bordeaux, haven't even supped on it yet. Never tried it before. Already beautiful on the nose. That white port that we're about to come onto, beautiful.
And it's just a 5-month finish.
Yeah, not enough. I think that either doing like a split / double maturation, so like 5 and 5 years for this one or whatever it may be, or just full maturation. Because Glen Scotia is the sort of liquid that can take that bulge of fruit and flavour and tannin.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What's interesting about this is like it proudly says it's unpeated. I don't know about you guys, like I'm getting enough funk and a little bit of filth on this one as well that tastes more than just...
No, it's just Bordeaux.
You think it's just Bordeaux?
Yeah, it's just Bordeaux casks, mate. Yeah.
I think having a 3 prior as well probably doesn't help, but I don't get it.
Yeah, I think given that we've got a skin full, I can't taste my fucking teeth. Yeah, no. I don't know, mate. I think what's interesting... Bordeaux casks can definitely bring that forward. I think it's interesting that you say peated. I think what Bordeaux casks can sometimes bring into the equation is that element of sulfur that almost makes it seem like a worm tub whiskey, which is why I think the likes of Craigellachie, Springbank, etc., they can work really, really nicely in these styles because it's kind of complementary. I don't think that this is... Yeah, because the nose is so unpeated, right?
Yeah.
The nose is actually super silky and sweet.
It's so sweet.
But you get, I mean...
It's like raspberries and...
I was going to say raspberries and cream.
Raspberries and cream, right, yeah, all right. You've
so
been
good.
at Wimbledon, have you, mate? Raspberries and cream,
Raspberries
please,
and
sir. Oh,
creams.
yes, sir.
I mean, Stevie's been talking about how he likes to get creamed, like, a couple of times so far this episode. But without wanting to talk too much and compare too much against Springbank,
Yeah.
Hazelburn is obviously advertised as unpeated. But there's no cleaning of the stills going on, and quite often you get a good wedge of that Campbeltown funk and a little lick of peat in the
reckon
background.
there's a little...
I reckon there's a little lick
You're
here in the
saying
same way they
there's
just
a
haven't
cleaning
necessarily
there,
cleaned the stills out beforehand.
And that's a big job, as we were speaking
Yeah.
to Glenallachie about it, because obviously now they're doing Mickle Tour, they really have to fucking flush them out, because...
Yeah, but Glenallachie is spotless.
I know,
But like top to tail,
That's my
it's
point.
spotless. Whereas I feel like the Campbeltonians, and I'm not even saying this is a slag because I would do exactly the same thing, but like...
rinse it once.
I feel like it's kind of like, yeah, get in there with the hose and go, shh.
Done.
All right, lads, let's move on. Do you know what I mean? It's all whiskey, isn't it? Let's go. Do you know what I mean? I feel like
And you're
there's
probably not wrong.
maybe a little bit of that, and it adds to the character, and I love that. Maybe you are right. To me, I'm not getting the peated element. And yeah, like I say, to me, the way I will always pick up peat really is my nose first and foremost. What I get here is more of that worm tub, and it's almost like a words, Jake. The words, use them. It's more of a
Meaty.
feeling, like a mouth feel, meatiness. Yes, I don't know. I think it's interesting. I don't think it's peated at all, personally. I'm not getting that.
It
just needs a lot more time in the Bordeaux.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but that's
Drop me out.
Yeah, that's you though, because you love it.
I'm here, mate. Yeah.
You love
this
it.
is me.
Yeah.
What are you on about? Yes. That was me that said that. More Bordeaux, please. At least 5 years in Bordeaux.
I mean, yeah, of course, I'd like to be interested to try it, but I think it's so well integrated right now.
Yeah, I think it's nice.
I think Ian knows what you're doing.
Do you, mate?
Sadly, I don't think Stevie meant me. 'Cause I'm pretty sure you boys think I don't.
So I think there's retail at around.
In fairness, your shirt is a little bit more acceptable today.
The shorts, though.
The shorts are rare. The shorts are fucking far out. I hope you've all got a good
They're
look
like-
of Ian's crotch at home
Like
because.
patchwork. Anyway, Ian,
Welcome back to the studio, mate.
take the piss out of me as much
Says
as you
the-
like.
He's waiting. He's been looking at my shirt for the last minute. He's like, you can't.
coming
Watch
for you.
this. Watch this.
Fucking like RoboCop mixed with Satan playing fucking basketball.
Mate, that's fire. Don't even front on me like that. That's cool.
I'm staying out of this.
Mate, you've got golden fucking balls on your.
All right. Well, listen.
Yeah, so retailed at 50, 60 quid maybe. Going for I think, oh god, this is gonna make you sick. I got this at auction for 50.
Yeah, I mean,
£199.95, hard to find whiskey.com.
nope.
They've got a bottle if anyone
Nope.
wants to
No.
pull their trousers down.
What?
No,
4
don't do
times
that.
the value. What?
Yeah.
Why?
Rareoldwhiskystore.com, £169
don't
in
do that.
stock.
Nope.
Funny that, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can still buy it.
Whiskey.co.uk, £150. So
No.
there we go, giving you an idea.
Well, we don't all run to the fucking checkout at once.
But it did retail for £49.95
Yeah.
at Master and Malt when it came out, and I got it for that.
And I tell you what, for that, you're laughing.
I think I got one at auction for even less than that at the time. I paid
Right.
like 35, 40 quid.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. What
and
a
enjoyed it.
bargain. Yeah. I would get another bottle of this, definitely.
Yeah.
No spoilers for the end.
I am really enjoying it.
Yeah.
I just want.
But I want more Bordeaux.
Thank you. Yeah. The voice was a little bit unnecessary, but yeah, I do want more Bordeaux.
Right. Where are we at? We're moving on to the.
This is the
11.
one I'm excited about.
Yeah, I'm interested to go back to this because
It's been a minute.
Quite spicy.
Oh, did you not enjoy it as much?
No, I enjoyed it, but yeah, I haven't had it since.
So sorry, Ian. I'm going to kind of chuck you right into the hot seat here because I'm going to ask you a
Sure.
question. We had a discussion about this recently, about who chose this cask,
Yeah.
and you've spoken to the person that did choose this cask.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, whose name is on the bottle?
Because this is the thing. So sorry, I wanted to make Ian aware of what I was going to attack him with before I just went.
I don't
Fuck
think
you!
attacking in here, but
I'm not attacking anybody, but thank you very much, sir. So this is an 11-year-old white port cask. Again, a finish, right?
Yes. Lightly peated.
Lightly peated.
54.7.
54.7. And this was last year, 2023's Campbeltown Malts Festival limited edition release. And it was released by Becky Paskin, was my understanding. Comes with a QR code on the back. There's like a tasting experience. And I was genuinely like, fucking hell, Becky knows what she's doing. This is one of the best Glen Scotias I've ever tried. I'm really interested to go back to this now because I want to try it again, see if it lives up to that standard. But you literally told me seldom a month ago that Becky didn't choose this, but that it was like it's a marketing campaign and it's her name on it, and she's done like the whole QR experience with the video and whatever.
Yeah, 100%. Look, and I think, if you were to speak to her, I don't think she would try and dissuade
No,
you.
sorry. And again, I'm not coming at this like, why is she saying that? No, I'm not. I just like, for somebody like myself, that
you would just assume.
you're very tied in with Glen Scotia. You've been invited to their days a few times. You've got multiple bottles. Like, you know it so well, right? I love Glen Scotia. I don't know it like you know it.
and like
so when I saw Becky's name on this, I was like, fucking hell, what a legend. Now, my thought of this would be, like, if I had my name on a bottle, and Glen Scotia, if you're listening, you want my name on a bottle, you can have my name on a bottle. But what I would need is, I would want to go into the warehouse and at least be able to try, say, like 4 or 5 casks and pick out those 4 or 5.
They'd all be Bordeaux.
In fairness, dude, after trying this one, white port would be on my fucking list.
Right, okay.
And straight up, I have re-racked some stuff into white port.
Because of this. Good.
Do you know what I mean? Like, straight up.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You learn stuff all the fucking time. And I love this. But you're right. There would probably be a couple of Bordeaux, Burgundies in there as well. Yes.
Yeah, and what's interesting is this year, it says at the back, there is the same guided tasting, scan the QR
By who?
code. So this year it is Neil Ridley, Dean Honer, and Jenny Sturgeon. And I'm really struggling with names. It's definitely, there's a couple of...
Jenny Sturgeon, that name's kind of familiar.
Yeah, there's a couple of ladies up at Glen Scotia who are picking the casks for these and picking the cask for the single cask program as well, who are clearly, very talented. They know exactly what they're doing.
Right. And it was one of these women that picked the Becky basket.
Maybe it was Jenny. I should really have looked this up before we started this episode.
Yeah. You should have.
Yes, sorry. I feel bad. If any of you are watching, I apologize. I would love for the distillery to shout them out more. They have actually featured, if you go on the Glen Scotia Instagram page, use a couple of videos with them and Becky and some other people who were there on the day talking about some of the releases, talking about Campbeltown. So, go check those videos out. You'll learn a little bit more. But yeah, my understanding is that was like purely Becky talking about the dram, talking about Campbelltown.
So that's just what I'm just a bit confused by is like, why didn't they market it like that? Where they say, we're going to get esteemed journalist Becky Paskin in to discuss this dram on this live thing, but
it was slightly misleading.
I just assumed it doesn't matter. It makes fuck all difference.
But what I don't understand is why aren't these women that are picking the casks being put on the bottles then?
And that was my only thing. As soon as you said that, I was like, that's so weird.
Yeah.
Like, I would kind of almost be a little bit more forgiving if like a man had selected it and they were trying to make it a bit more inclusive. I wouldn't necessarily back that so myself.
Backwards, but yeah,
it's not what I would choose to do, but I would understand the thought process. But to have, like you say, a team of 3, 4, 5 women who are working with Glen Scotia, choosing these things on a continual basis, and for none of their names to appear anywhere on it. Again, I suppose it's kind of like we talked about Bruichladdich there a minute ago. Bruichladdich are always putting the faces of their team on the bottles, and I love that because it gives you a sense of place and a sense of who is fucking creating the wonderful whiskies that we're trying.
And I hope they don't mind me saying this because I'm saying it in the most positive light possible. What struck me at the dinner and some of the and some of the opportunities I had to interact with some of these people is they're clearly there because they love whiskey and they are exceptional at doing their job of picking the casks, like maturing the whiskey, selecting things for bottling and the blending. Like it's not their job to do like public interaction.
Right.
And I guess if they're not super comfortable with that, then that's their right.
And that's the thing. That makes sense to me, but I just like, as a super geek, I wanted that. Like when you shared that with me, I was like, what? Like I was mind blown. Do you know what I mean? Because I saw Becky's face on this and I immediately was just like,
well, you would.
All hail, because this is and I'm trying it again now.
I take back everything I said.
It's
about the pepper.
So good.
Yeah. I think a lot has to do with just being open for a year.
Yeah. I mean, the other person involved with some of these releases, and especially some of the older stuff, is a guy called Michael Henry.
Mm-hmm.
And he's actually been used in a lot of the marketing for the Loch Lomond 50 that has just launched. But again, it's really the first time I've seen him in videos and stuff. He's been employed by the group, I think, for like 15 years or so.
It's a shame that people don't feel a bit more confident to...
But again, right? Like if...
You don't have that problem with me, mate, do you? You're just trying to shut me the fuck up.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Just generally like talking about whiskies and whatever. Just, I think it's a shame that people don't feel a little bit more confident to step forward and say, well, I did this because of this, that and the other.
But it's just a marketing thing, isn't it? They, look, Becky Paskin is doing a lot for the space of women and... Sorry about that. Triggs is just having a little bark. It's just a marketing thing, and she obviously has a passion for Glen Scotia. She's obviously tied in with them quite a bit. She's promoting it, and it makes sense, doesn't it, from a marketing perspective?
But that's the thing. I just wish that was a bit clearer.
No, I agree.
Because what I wanted, like, as soon as I tried this, I genuinely was like, I was blown away. And I feel like now that I know that, I want to travel to the distillery and meet these people. This team of whoever it is. You say Michael, you say a team of few women, like whoever is part of that team. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to meet them. I want to understand what goes in.
I'm pretty sure Jenny's one of them, but
Okay. But I am. This has lived up to my expectations on so many levels.
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
delicious. Yeah,
it's
it really
beautiful.
is.
It's round and it's
so soft and fruity and.
see, it's interesting because you talked about which one being creamy. The second.
Yeah, the 9-year-old.
I found it.
No, I know this is.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
So
I know.
It's not. That's not creamy. This is.
I said
creamy.
single cream. This is double cream.
This is fucking whipping cream, my guy. This is next level.
Right, so it's Ashley Smith who is responsible for the single cask selection. So she selected the dinner cask, and then she would have selected that cask that we've got there.
Ashley,
So
I would love
Shout
to
out.
meet you and have a chat. We'd love to get you on the pod, actually. Fuck that. Fuck me just having a chat with her. Let's bring her forward for everybody.
Well, I think we're going to go back to Glen Scotia and do the whole shebang anyway.
Yeah, definitely. And let's make sure that Ashley is the woman that we sit down with, because this is the thing. For me, the ability to pick out a single cask is one thing. The ability to blend is something else. And both of them are really important. I just think that when you can find something this good, and these are all finishes. So again, we talk about single casks. There is still an element with these single casks of actually training them into the zone that you want them to be in, and nurturing and caring for them in a certain way. This is still one of the best Glen Scotias I've ever had.
Is it though Glen Scotia when you taste it? What I mean by that, like when you have the 15, you can really tell that's Glen Scotia. There's the distillery character.
The nose.
The nose on this?
It's still only lightly peated. I actually get a really wonderful, thick bellow of peat smoke.
Right.
It's that smoke, and it's thick peat, but it is. How can I describe this better? You're not getting. It's not like the charcoal and the grit and the bonfire and all. It's just the smoke.
Right. Okay.
For me.
Yeah. It's a bloody good dram, and I think you can still pick this up some. It didn't really sell out, did it, Ian? It kind of you can pick this up still.
I don't know about that. Actually.
I think it has pretty much sold out.
Pretty
now.
much
You
now,
might be able to find it.
It was there. You could.
Yeah.
Pick it up,
Oh yeah, but I think that's the case most of the time. It will take normally anywhere between like 4 and 8 months for them to fly off the shelves.
For the word to get around, yeah.
And if you,
in fairness, they are spread around a lot, right? And that's what's good about them.
there's normally a lot of them. I think with this like white port cask, there was something like 11,000 bottles. Right?
Oh, is it?
So it's limited, but not super limited.
Yeah, not out of reach to the everyman, no, for sure.
Which
and
is
again,
great,
price
right?
point on this, what? 75?
I think I'm going to say about 65.
Yeah,
again.
65.
Oh, is it less even
retail,
still?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very good value. I bought a couple of these. I've still got one closed. My other one's right here.
Did anyone do the whole experience thing on this bottle when it came out?
No.
No. Okay.
Sorry, yeah.
You might have switched off.
Yeah.
It was interesting, but it was just a little bit kind of like, close your eyes, listen to the waves. What are you tasting? Salts, or whatever, And then there's a good chat with Paskin and McAllister, I think, on that, or it might be someone else. It's insightful. I like what they're doing. But also, did any of you pick up the vinyl, the Glen Scotia vinyl record?
I saw you did. I do not
grab
have
that?
I don't have a record player at home.
Doesn't matter. You don't need to. It's just cool to own. Yeah, I picked it up. They do some cool stuff.
What is it?
It's just a vinyl record. Yeah, it's the sounds of where is it? The sounds of Glen Scotia, Campbeltown, and has long been a source of inspiration of museums, poets, and artists. Blah 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 blah. I can't remember who was featured on it. Jenny Sturgeon, Dean Honer. Oh yeah, and Neil Ridley. So they're musicians, I think. So is that right?
No. So I'm pretty sure Neil is a whiskey writer.
Yeah, so I think between all of them, they're poets, musicians, and something else, and an artist. The three of them. Don't know which one's which. because they said they were all invited
Right.
to create a unique piece of work. So I think one did the artwork on the album, one did the songs, and then there is a poet speaking.
So
on the
Glen
record.
Scotia do have an artist in residence. There's a lady called Alice Angus, who I've met a couple of times.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Why have they got an artist in residence?
It's cool. Like
What does she do for them?
she
Sorry, is that a ridiculous question? I'm just trying to
No, I
ascertain, like, if they've got an artist that they're obviously fucking paying
Where's the art?
continuously, what's she fucking doing for them?
there's loads of fucking art. You're just not-
Redesigning the labels.
You're not seeing it. Like no. So if you look at the Glen Scotia 30-year-old, for example, that has got her art all over the label.
Oh, I?
And that comes with a print as well. And I think some of the prints are maybe available in the shop. There was a tasting which was down in Milroy's a little while ago before it closed for refurbishment, and she came and she did on the spot like a watercolor of the tasting.
You're right, yeah.
That's quite cool.
So yeah, she tries to, like, she's there as almost like, I guess, a kind of like a muse for the distillery team, right? To try and capture the essence of
Well, the
Campbell.
distillery is a muse for her.
Yeah, both, right? But like some of the art that she produces, they're looking at and they're like, oh, right, well, how do we make a whiskey that reflects this in Campbeltown?
That's gas. Fair enough. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, she's
I love that. Sorry. I love this 11-year-old. And I haven't even been able to put into words yet for anyone at home, like what it is I love so much about that. It's gone. It's delicious. I'm going to have another little bit.
I think you can still pick up they do release prints and postcards of the watercolors. I've seen them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great. It's a really good whiskey. It's the best of the three. It's the best of the three that we've had today.
It's so soft and delicate.
We've had
It's-
5 today, mate. You talking
The
about the limited
three
editions?
Limited editions. Yes.
By far. I'd say this and the 15 are quite a bit above the others at the moment. In fairness, actually, that's a bit unfair to the Bordeaux. The Bordeaux is good. The Bordeaux is good. The Bordeaux is very good.
I'm really intrigued about this Gordon and MacPhail one. And you haven't opened this, have
I
you?
haven't. No, we're going to crack it.
Okay, when did you get this?
Shout out to Guy, who we've talked about on many episodes and has been on the podcast. He put me on to a G&M Mortlach that was supposedly very good, and there was a Scotia in the same release. So I thought, fuck it, let's buy both.
How old?
It's 23 years old. That's why we're saving it till last.
Wow.
Tidy. We probably should have had it first to truly appreciate
Probably.
the depth.
Shout out, Guy. He will be back on. We reached our like goal.
I should have, to be
Oh,
honest,
is it?
actually.
Yeah, so we have to get him back on.
All right, well, let us know what you'd like to see Guy back on the episode for.
I bought this because I fucking wanted
More
an
blends
excuse
on
to
it.
open it. But actually, I came back from the festival with a sample of the official 25-year-old, which would have been enough to go around the three of us. So I probably should have just bought that, because that's the one that's obviously won the world's best whiskey.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, that was what really kicked Glen Scotia off, I think,
Another
in 2019.
episode, mate. Another episode we will do.
Battle of the 25s.
Yeah, in fairness, actually, we said we'd go along, like we are talking away with the big partnership in Glen Scotia and getting that sorted.
Yeah, definitely.
And if that's something that you would like to see, actually, guys, let's, because we spoke with big partnership in Glen Scotia a minute ago, but let's look at getting that booked back in. So if you'd like to see us traveling down to Glen Scotia, doing another podcast with them, full on core range and beyond, as well as some great Whiskey Baron content, the Enthusiast series, etc., please do drop us in the comments. Glen Scotia, all capitals, and we will see what we can do for that.
I thought for a second you were going to say the comment should be big.
or big.
Big P.
Big P.
Don't. No.
I'm looking forward to this. This just looks like just bourbon matured, right? Just
Mate, you've
straight
opened that
up.
in such a subtle little way there. If I was opening a 23-year-old, I'd be like, boys,
Everyone.
He's just like quiet to himself.
You know me, understated, as you
should've
can
really-
see from my dress code.
Should have really opened this when you got here. It's quite a look.
understated is a word. It's not one I fucking use.
I think back in the late 80s, early 90s, I had a duvet cover that closely resembles your shorts. I think most
Mate,
people
these
do.
are-
It's like a He-Man kind of colour.
These are Ralph Lauren.
I know. Listen, mate.
Everything you wear is fucking Ralph
Guess what?
Lauren.
I loved those duvet covers. I loved them. It's very sad when they got thrown away.
How old are you?
I'm 35.
No, how
mate.
old were you, mate?
Oh, I was child's mate. It was
2 or
toddler.
3?
Maybe a bit older. He-Man, shout out.
Wow.
Here we go.
Do you have the power?
Nice. I still have them.
This is, wow. Lightly peated or not?
It doesn't say. I mean, it's obviously, G&M, as we know, they've got their own casks, right? So they would have taken whatever spirit they got. Peat is not something that is listed in their tasting notes.
And after 23 years, it's going to have dissipated anyway. But,
Yeah.
there's something in there.
But a pretty hefty ABV still at 56.2.
Exclusive maturation.
A single refill American oak hogshead.
That is sweet.
Yeah.
I'll let you taste it before I spoil you with the tasting notes that they've given.
Heaps of vanilla.
A fairly impressive 56.2 after 23
Sits
years.
quite nicely. It's a little bit lively.
Yeah.
It's a little bit lively, but it's quite nice. It's Werther's Originals.
Yeah.
Salted caramel Rolos and
See, I'm getting more the kind of honey and vanillas, but really thick and kind of ripe isn't the right word for honey, but
rich.
rich. Thank you, Jake. Yeah, it's bloody lovely. What did you pay for this, out of interest?
I think it was £200.
Okay.
The official 21-year-old, which is 46%, I think is 250 nowadays. So, extra couple of years, extra bit of ABV, 50 quid less, seemed like a reasonable deal. And a pretty tight cask as well, 228 bottles from this after 23 years. It's not bad going.
Sorry, 223 bottles
28.
from a bourbon barrel.
Refill, no, hoggy.
Okay, still.
Still pretty
Nice.
tight.
Yeah. Keeping it toit.
There's a little bit of chewiness going on there. I can get that kind of, that wood is coming through, but it's not unpleasant at all.
Do you get that salted caramel Rolo? Almost it's been left in the fridge or the freezer for a minute too long. For me, anyway.
I get the salt. I get a bit of saltiness, definitely. Yeah.
I get quite a lot of salt.
I wouldn't say kind of a chocolate. Are you saying Rolo?
Yeah, but it's the salt and it's the caramel.
Oh, I see.
And it's the kind of textury side.
The kind of gooey.
Yeah, gooey. Yeah. That's a good.
Gooey.
Exactly.
Gooey,
that.
yeah,
It's a good
absolutely.
word.
Gooey. Yeah. This is absolutely lovely. I could polish quite a bit of that off quite quickly, and I think a ginger ale would go really well with it too.
What are you saying about me?
Nothing. I'm saying you've got good taste, mate.
No, it's when you said ginger.
Oh right. Well, I didn't say that. You got a complex, maybe. I don't know, but
Yeah, I like this a lot. This is the fucking neck pour as well, right?
To be fair,
hope it gets better.
It's only going to get better. This is delicious. Really, really well done by G&M here. Wow.
I remember seeing this,
58, did you say? 56?
56.2.
56 too. Really, yeah. We talk about smooth and we talk about thin and then we talk about, the alcohol prickle side of things. And I think what's kind of missed is there is a beautiful space in between where the alcohol is jumping out that glass and it's lively and it's present and it's there. And this is definitely a cask strength whiskey. But my gosh, is it balanced? Is it well-rounded? Is it integrated perfectly? For me, this is... it's actually quite a tough going. Glad I saved a little bit of the previous. 11 versus 23, mind.
Yeah.
That's quite a cool little heads up anyway. It's a bit of a challenge for me as to which is the preferred one here.
I mean, look, they're very different price points, right? But it's viscous. It really, like, it's got some good legs on it. For me, I'm getting a little bit of kind of grilled pineapple. I know there's also the question of whether
That's interesting that you say that. I was just thinking to myself, I'm getting a very fresh fruit on the nose. I'm going more down like a fresh green apple.
Yeah.
Just bitten into on the nose.
So red apple is one of the tasting notes on the label.
Green apple for me. But okay.
I don't get red maybe. Yeah.
On the nose is very green, just bitten into a green apple. You've got a bit of that skin, but you've got the juice coming through from it.
Do you know what? I could maybe see like a pink lady or something. Like maybe I've just got that in my head now. I've like reread the notes, putting it there. But
I disagree with both of you. I'm leaning more towards sort of mid-tropical fruit.
so that's the thing with the grilled pineapple,
You
right?
know? Yeah. Pineapple is normally very, very sweet though. Well, it depends when you.
Where you going passion fruits, guavas.
Almost, yeah, not as sweet, but yeah, somewhere around there. What we got maybe like just a note started to over ripen honeydew melon kind of type sweetness. Not as far as passion fruit. That's a bit too,
You know what?
You got some grapefruit there.
Yeah. Double park it with a bit of Schofferhofer.
When in Rome.
So what's interesting, and again, guys, talk about tasting whiskies is always good to taste whiskey with one in each hand, right?
Uh-huh.
Getting a real beautiful struck match thing off of this 11-year-old now.
One in each fist.
Yes.
Don't
Exactly.
worry, mate. We had
One in each fist, yes.
one in each fist.
As if you're gripping the glass
there's-
fucking tightly, like, relax, mate.
You
It's
missed
okay.
Jeff. He lived up to your expectations though, and went
Beyond?
all in.
Went with both fists.
Oh yeah, and some. That's what I'm doing. He didn't just say it.
Fucking hell.
It wasn't double fisting with Jeff. It was, I'm double fisted. And we were like, Jeff, there's a lady present.
That's the one episode I haven't watched, but I need to go back now.
Goes
good
off a
crack.
bit script.
It is good crack.
But yeah, he.
Jeff, I mean,
would
it
do
looked like
well.
Jeff had raided my wardrobe before he...
Yeah.
He's a good substitute, actually. Now, come to think of it, from a looks point of view,
You just need to put the
definitely.
glasses
Yeah,
on.
because
mate.
you all had your glasses on, like,
Well, just Jeff.
I had really bad hay fever that day, dude.
There we go.
I actually
Are we,
went to the
Jeff
doctor.
is in the building.
I was a little bit worried.
Jeff Scotia,
Jeff Scotia. It's like your. Yeah.
secret agent name.
Thank you.
I knew where you were going. I thought I'd save you from your embarrassment.
Secret agent name. Oh, there's yeah. So your double pairing here, dual
Yeah.
wielding.
Dual wielding. I was just saying, all right, let's simmer down.
Calm
please.
down.
I'm just saying, the 11-year-old, now I'm getting a bit more of this kind of struck match element on it.
Okay.
In addition to the wealth of... I feel like we haven't really talked about flavours for all of these whiskies. I've got so many things going on in my mind for
Jan
this.
will be very disappointed.
Sorry?
Jan will be very disappointed.
Ah, well, Sorry,
I
Jan.
mean, you know,
Love you anyway.
Jeff being double-fisted is apparently what's going on in your mind.
This is so interesting.
Which one, the 11 or?
No. The 23, the Gordon and MacPhail.
It's. I mean,
It's giving me hints of something else. It's giving me hints of a completely different single malt, and I can't think of what it is.
it's not super Scotia-y. It does feel.
It's not. There's like There's a bit of it. It's kind of a bit like left field for Glen Scotia. I feel.
There's such a hint, but it's so minor, right? Like just a little bit of
You
that kind
say
of
that.
industrial nature. But again, it could be just the fact we've had fucking 5 other Scotias beforehand.
But also, when do you ever drink Glen Scotia above 20 years old?
I've been lucky enough to on several occasions.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So please, because I haven't, right? How does that compare then?
Well, look,
because you're
so-
saying it's far away from, the others, and of course they're very different.
The thing is, peat dissipates over time.
yes.
I feel like this is already something that.
Pipe down. You weren't asked
isn't
the question.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm answering the fucking question, mate. You should have piped up. Do you know what I mean?
How I feel. Thank you, mate. Cheers.
Sorry, don't fucking cheers over that. Hang on. No. Not cool. I feel.
That's the bell for every time Jake pipes up. Enough.
Okay. I'm just saying, I feel like this. I'm still going. Take it over then, you cunts. I'll just drink.
At the festival, we had a 30-year-old sample. I got sent home with a little mini of a 32-year-old, which is shortly being released.
All obese, yeah.
All obese, yeah. I went to the launch of the 30-year-old. I've got a sample of the 25. I've had the 25 before. So there is some stuff older than that, but I'm still going to count myself as pretty fucking lucky when it comes to old Glen Scotia.
Yeah.
And all just bourbon finished, or are they?
Generally bourbon, yeah, because
Yeah,
most
yeah.
of it was intended for blending back
sure.
then, right? And a lot of it is just refill American oak, whether it's barrels or hoggies. And, you know, I think similar to a lot of good quality old blending stock of that age, it can get really tropical. It can get really fruity. You can get that kind of rancio old bottle effect from it. And it's not generally super peated, because I think back in the day it probably was something like 8 ppm. So after 25, 30 years, and they were always doing unpeated runs, right? So the core range 18 is unpeated by default. The 25 I think has got some peat in, but you'd struggle to pick it up unless you know what you're looking for.
Oh.
So yeah, I think these older ones are often just very, very gentle. Like 8 ppm after 20 plus years is fucking nothing, right?
Fair. No, yeah. You're right.
Sorry, is 8 ppm?
You talk, sorry.
I don't know whether it's 8 ppm. That's the number that's come into my head. It's probably wrong.
Sorry, you're saying that because is that what they generally feel? Glen Scotia
I think
barrels at?
so. Someone told me back in the day it was filled to a certain level. I'm probably wrong with the number.
Because 8 ppm is nothing.
If we look at the grand scheme of things, yeah, 8 ppm
low.
is minimal, considering as well that this is 23 years old.
Oh,
Those parts per million after distillation and then maturation. Yeah, forget it.
yeah.
But this is the thing. I think what's interesting about these two things, and now what's annoying is I've forgotten the point I was trying to fucking make a minute ago. So you ruined the podcast, boys. There it is. I feel like it's kind of a weird space between not being anything like Glen Scotia and also being kind of a good example of it. It's I know that's such a stupid thing to say. That sounds so airy-fairy. It's nothing. I feel like there's elements of Glen Scotia, but it also has this hint of something else. Almost like one of those Gordon and MacPhail. I'm trying to think what it is. What is it? Maybe it's like a Mortlach or a Glen Elgin, Gordon and MacPhail that I've tried before. Because again, like I said earlier, the peat sometimes to me, you know, unpeated but wine aged coming through as almost like a worm tub whiskey. I feel like there's an element of that here as well. So maybe it's not the wine age, maybe it's the style of the spirit. I don't know. I can't quite pick it up. What's interesting about this though is it's the 11 versus the 23. They're very different sides of the same coin.
I guess it goes back to one of my like earlier points, right? That they nowadays, for the last like 15, 20 years, they have been taking different distillation, different peat points, right?
Right.
So I guess like my like open question is like, should they, like Loch Lomond or Springbank, have different names, right, for the different peat points?
Right.
Like, you know, they're producing different styles, but it's all Glen Scotia.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of like a slightly chameleon-esque distillery.
Do they do a Bricklady on it and
exactly.
break it up?
Break it up.
I think what I would at least like to see is like almost like genres. Do you know what I mean? Like you log into Netflix, you want to watch a comedy, you go to comedy, and boom, there you go.
Yep.
Maybe like a heavily peated, medium peated, unpeated / lightly peated, whatever the fuck I don't know. You know, a little bit of a breakup in between them.
Sorry, are you saying then that they don't have a consistent sort of peat level that they always stick to?
No, I mean the 18 is unpeated.
That's what he's saying,
some-
dude. Some of them is lightly
what
peated,
I'm
and they'll
asking,
mix the unmalted, the
Right.
unpeated malt with the peated malt, and it'll create something
So
there.
yeah, I can see where you're coming from now with the genres and and all of that. It would make sense, to remain in their kind of window of style.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I think what's great about all of these, though, is to me,
why do you think they're doing that? You reckon they're just trying to find their style? Do you reckon they're just playing it a bit kind of open, like
they know. So like,
I think that's playing into the Campbeltown hand.
Yeah.
Campbelltown is a bit of everything, really.
Yeah.
Right.
It needs to have a little bit of funk to me. I feel like the unpeated stuff should be more clearly labelled.
yes,
This is different. Like, this is a little bit different.
Yeah.
So if you'll hear me for a minute, like the last thing I went to at this year's festival was what was called the new make school. And I tried unpeated new make and heavily peated new make, and then a couple of cask samples that were still spirit, and then a cask sample that was whiskey but still very young. And then the questions we were being asked by Ian and Millie were kind of around like, what do you think in terms of the process affects the taste and the flavor? But we were basically putting stickers on a chart as a group, but there were some kind of consistencies there, right? Like they know that the spirit style often produces a lot of orchard fruit. So, whether it's the kind of white orchard fruit as they describe in that, or the kind of more classical apples that we've been talking about in this 23-year-old, like they know that there is generally some Campbeltown funk in most of these as well, like some of those industrial notes, right? And they know that I think there can be quite a kind of oaty, biscuity kind of note that comes through as well, right? So it's kind of like, what part of the like distillation process is like putting you with these flavors? So they know that despite all of those things, they've still got a kind of a consistent set of flavors, like that are just amplified or toned down depending on the level of smoke and level of peat that comes through. So I think they're pretty intentional about what they're doing. I don't think they're experimenting.
I don't think. Look, they've been around so long now. They know what they're doing. But as you say, it would be nice for it to be a bit more clearer. Because obviously you might find it like, I really like that, but where was it? On the scale of whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it being a little bit clearer. I think what's also good, like you say, maybe not too much experimentation. What I think is quite cool about the exclusives, and if you'd like, I mean, I appreciate we've already done 6 drams here, so maybe a 7th is overkill. But we've got that distillery exclusive, and
Open
there's a 5. It's already open. Please pour at will. Grab that there, Ian, if you'd like. Pass it over to Stevie.
Well, we haven't had a port yet.
This is a tawny port. I think it's exclusive maturation. Tell me if I'm wrong there. Tawny port, 5-year-old, 58 something, 58.1, 58. What is it?
Yeah, very similar to the festival.
Stevie, it's in front of your face.
What are you saying? What's the question?
Tell me what is happening on the bottle.
It's a Glen Scotia.
This is why we got him here.
It's a first fill tawny port.
Exclusive.
5 years old.
5 years old.
It doesn't say exclusive. It's called the exclusive cask.
It's a distillery exclusive.
So you'd hope that it's a single cask, given it's only 5 years old.
It is, yeah. So the
50...
58.1.
58.1.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
cool. Pour yourself.
Exclusive at the festival this
Wait, hold on.
You're getting a new Glencairn glass?
I'm getting...
Minis. I love these minis.
Do you know what I love about Glencairn? This is a big plug. They've sponsored us.
The house.
I genuinely love these mini glasses, though.
Oh,
I've been waiting for a minute since we got sponsored. I wanted to bring out these fucking minis, and I think seeing as we've already done 6 big whopping drams,
dinkies.
let's just have a little dram, mate. Let's be sensible.
Let's fill it to the top.
Sorry,
Glen Scotia
Ian,
Port
continue.
is pretty banging. So the festival exclusive this year was, I think it was actually a 7-year-old rather than a 5-year-old first fill Ruby Port.
Okay. This is Tawny.
This is
isn't it?
Tawny, yeah.
Oh, I loved this bottle. This bottle really changed my opinion on Glen
In
Scotia.
fairness, I do remember you buying a bottle and me buying a bottle for you, and you messaging me not even a week from when we got back going, yeah, it's really good, isn't it, mate? I'm not giving that to whomever it was for.
You don't let them know.
Fuck that
They come from
motherfucker. Yeah, no, exactly. It is very, very good. And again, we are a handful of drams deep. Well, I mean, we've second episode in now, probably 7-8 whiskeys in now, but
It's great.
it's very well integrated for 58 one.
5 years, yeah.
58 one at 5 years old.
know what I
Very,
mean?
very, very good.
Unpeated again, I'm going to say.
I couldn't say at this point.
Does
to
it,
be
I mean,
honest.
it doesn't say on the label. I don't know.
Who knows?
Dib. No, it is. It's unpeated.
Yeah,
It's unpeated. The last one I'm unsure about. The Gordon and MacPhail. I don't know if that's got a small amount of peat and it's just really wilted away over
Probably.
time. Sorry.
I'm going to say yes.
I
on
think
that.
so. Yeah, I think so. But it's tough to tell still. And it's a great point of intrigue because
You'll never know.
we don't know.
Oh, actually, I'm sure if he ever watches, a guy called James Bromwich would kill me. Do you know what that actually reminds me of a little bit? When you said another distillery?
Sorry, the G&M one?
G&M, yeah. Scappa.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Okay. That's not what I was thinking of, I don't think, but
I mean, obviously, generally unpeated, but
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of like the saltiness and the kind of fruitiness you get.
yeah. It does give different vibes there.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a left fielder. I feel like everything else we've tried has at least been kind of on a similar line. And again, all OBs, right? So
A chameleon dram from a chameleon distillery.
So, you don't really see Glen Scotia pop up much as an IB, do you?
what
I
you
don't
will
know.
see is you will see Campbelltown blended
malts.
malt.
Yeah, exactly. That's just what I was going to say.
That is largely Glen Scotia with a little
Yeah.
sprinkle of all of the other magical distilleries from that region.
But not Glen Scotia
Single,
wholly.
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Seldom.
Yeah,
So they used
especially
to sell
named.
casks, though, way back.
I mean, this is fucking at the turn of the century. This
Yeah,
is
2000.
Literally, exactly, right.
And they stopped selling casks.
I don't know when, but yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loch Lomond
You can't
Group,
get them now,
You
basically.
can buy certain tranches of stock. So, for example, Loch Lomond produce what? 20?
Oh, a huge amount. Loads.
Like, yeah,
Lots.
I don't even want to say, I'll just get it wrong. A lot of different malts and then grains and all different sorts of shit.
But the grains are generally malts that have gone through a coffee still.
Column stills, yeah, that's true. Anyway, my point being that you can buy certain brands from Loch Lomond if you're lucky. The likes of Inchvad and Croft and Gier, right? But you wouldn't be able to buy Glen Scotia,
Right.
as far as I'm aware.
Sure. Unless.
Hey, listen, I'm sure there's somebody well tapped in that's got their fucking...
Yeah. But yeah, you don't see it.
Not for
pop
me.
up.
Not for me, unfortunately.
yeah.
And I don't know anybody who can buy it direct. So,
And
yeah.
I mean, again, you can't even buy generally Loch Lomond itself because that's normally a blend of
I don't think you can buy that. I don't think you've ever been able to buy straight Loch Lomond.
no, because Loch Lomond is effectively a blend of vatting of their
Of their
peated
malts.
and unpeated. So there's no I was about to say there's no single cask Loch Lomond, which is probably untrue because they have
sure there has
definitely
been.
released
Yeah,
some.
I know.
How that works, however, I don't.
Yeah,
not quite sure.
Yeah. I have to say though, there's a lot of good stuff coming out of Loch Lomond.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Glen Scotia episode, but I'm just Glen Scotia aside, Loch Lomond is fucking great. It's a really, really cool distillery. But yeah, no. What do we think of this? It's like a little 5-year-old little beast to end on, right?
Yeah,
a little
it's
winner.
a little beast.
That's really good.
Jam on
really
toast.
good. Oh yeah, that's a great note, mate.
Jam on toast, yeah.
Say jam on toast. That's good. Yeah, fair.
Just ever so slightly burnt toast.
Yeah. Well, I like my toast a little bit, but yeah. Funny enough, I tried to find this bottle before I left the house, and I was like, "Where's it gone?" I drunk it. Where's the other one gone that's sealed?
Oh shit, I drank it.
No, I don't think I have. I fucking hope I haven't. But it's hidden somewhere deep in the house.
I've got another few of these different, but I picked up like 4 or 5 for me from Glen Scotia. So if you're all out, don't worry.
Come knocking,
I'll
mate.
portion one off
I'll
for
come
you.
knocking. Don't worry.
A nice little episode then.
Yeah, there we go. Glen
Very nice
Scotia.
little episode.
Obviously, there in the core range lineup, there is the double cask that we mentioned. There's also an 18, isn't there?
There's an 18, there's a 25.
There is a 25.
There's a 21 that's launched relatively recently.
Okay. And the Victoriana, is that the core?
Victoriana, that's the no age statement, but high strength one.
Okay.
It's like
That's
almost
above
like
the harbour, right?
Oh yeah, I think it's more expensive than the 15. Like it's quite
is
high
it?
ABV.
Oh,
like
right.
it's almost like a Glen Scotia cask strength. I think the average age on that is
Non-age though, isn't it?
It's non-age, but I think it's like anywhere between like 8 and about 18. Like it's quite
is it?
older stuff going into
Oh, okay,
it.
I thought it was about 9 or 10 personally, but okay, cool. That's cool. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think average age on it is like 12, 13, something like that, and it's like 50 something ABV.
Cool.
That's more heavily peated as well.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, look, let's have a little roundup. Before we do round up, I'd just like to remind you all we've been enjoying this Glen Scotia out of our wonderful Glen cans. Don't want to sound like a low-paid hoe, but at the end of the day, you guys get all of the savings off of this sponsorship. So I want to make sure that you're enjoying it as best you can and that we can bring you more value moving forward. So do remember, glencairn.co.uk. Use Uncut 20 to get 20% off.
Wow.
Glen Scotia, is it called The Harbour?
Campbeltown Harbour.
Campbeltown Harbour, apologies, is where we started. So we started in Campbeltown Harbour, £37,
RRP, yep.
which is what we'd work on.
As I say, you can pick this up in most supermarkets, so I imagine it will probably go on sale or club card.
Yeah.
thing,
Listen,
so-
you'll get it cheaper. You managed to get it cheaper at an auction.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
keep your eyes
You can,
fucking
you
peeled.
can.
Glen Scotia, Campbeltown Harbour, £37 RRP. Let's start there. £37. Ian, I'm coming to you.
At £37, it's a don't buy. That doesn't pass my Bunner 12 test. That is the same price.
He's back. He's back. We've got him back in the studio here is Posh Scotch. All right, it's a no from Posh. Stevie, you bought it. Will you buy it again, sir, at the retail? The retail?
No.
Oh, genuine?
No, I wouldn't. No.
Okay.
Listen, I appreciate what it does and it has its place, but where I'm at in my journey, it doesn't have a place for me. So it was great to taste it because I haven't had it before, but I pass. However, people getting into whiskey, you want to try some Glen Scotia, it's a good starting point.
All right. Yeah, look, I hear you.
Nearly 40 quid though.
I'll buy it.
It's quite up there.
Okay. Nearly 40 quid is interesting. I think it's only 40 quid. It's less than 40 quid.
All right.
Yeah, maybe
That's how
we're
I'm
thinking
looking at things.
5 years.
It's less than 40 quid. The fuck?
You're buying it?
I'll buy, look, it's not like, oh my God, this is the best buy ever. It's a buy. It's a buy. It scrapes through. But for less than 40 quid,
All right.
I'll buy it.
You're entitled to that?
Yeah.
I'm entitled to that. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. No more cheersing between you two little pricks, all right? Glen Scotia. Don't do it again now, you cunts. Glen Scotia, Campbeltown. This is the Malt Festival, 2024 Malt Festival Limited Edition. This is a 9-year-old. A Fino Sherry finish, retailing at
65.
£65, circa £65. Again, a massive shout out. We were very lucky. We got sent a bottle of this each correct?
Yep.
A bottle of this each for free by Big Partnership and Glen Scotia. So we're very, very grateful, very lucky to have been sent this for free.
Shout out, Jen.
But for £65, we will work off of the retail price. Ian, would you buy for £65, sir?
I'm not sure I need another one,
Okay.
but I'm glad I have one. I will definitely go through it. I think it's a buy for me.
Okay.
I'm with Ian up until he buys it again.
I didn't say I'd buy it again.
No,
I said
you
one's
did say
sufficient.
you'd give it a buy, but you like it. You're glad you've got one, but you wouldn't give it a
Work
buy.
like that, but yeah, okay.
It does work like that.
I didn't buy one. I'm glad I got one. I'm glad I will go through it, as Ian just said. But it would be 65 quid. It would be a don't buy.
Cool. A buy, a don't buy, and a second to Stevie's don't buy. I think I held the bar too high. I think I just need to simmer down. Let the limited edition releases come out as they may and try
Have
them.
no expectations.
And have no expectations. I think that was my biggest problem with this. It's grand. For £65, I think I overhyped it in my mind. It's not bad value, but it's not something I'd be excited about. Very, very grateful for Glen Scotia and Big Partnership sending it through, but it's a don't buy from me. Moving on to the Glen Scotia 15, which is a retail price of
£68.
£68.
Some whiskey shop has it for 79, so obviously don't buy that.
Fuck whiskey shop.
Okay. Welcome back, Posh Scotch.
My hero right here.
So many people have been commenting on previous episodes like, what's wrong with Ian? Like, has he been arrested?
Is he okay?
Is his potty mouth got him in trouble?
Being fucking arrested by a whiskey shop.
Well,
Yes,
you'll be
JR.
pleased to know that he's out on bail at the moment.
He's out on bail.
He's been-
And we've got him for an afternoon of boozing. So,
For crimes against fashion, apparently.
what crimes against
Show them your tag. Show them your tag.
Fuck off.
He's embarrassed.
He's
Don't worry
embarrassed
about it.
I've got some, the people with a foot fetish.
Look at that. Oi! Show me your pins, man. Go on now, bye. All right. The Glen Scotia 15, Ian, was the question. Thank you for the show of the legs, but that's not what we wanted.
It's a buy.
It is a buy?
Yeah.
68 to sort of, yeah. All right. 65 to £80, let's say.
At 65, at 80, I don't think it probably would be, but at £65 for, as they describe themselves, classic Campbeltown malt.
Yeah.
Fucking, nail head, right?
Yeah, it's a big tick. It's a big tick. It does what it says on the tin. All right. It's a buy from Ian. Stevie.
Yeah, I would buy this. Again, absolutely. I mean, go to auction, buy it, you get it cheaper.
Yeah,
It's for
exactly.
50
Yeah,
quid.
50
But
quid.
yeah, I think, like, as you say, what rivals in that in a 15-year-old category? It
Yep.
is solid, pure Campbeltown, Glen Scotia. Yeah, it's great. Keep it at that price, and I'll be happy.
Cool. Yeah, no, it's a big buy from me. I'm actually verging towards a noosh because of the quality, but the price slightly unbalances it for me.
Right.
I'm thinking Glendronach 15 is about 60.
No.
I think it's 70 as well now.
It's all gone up. It's
all
all
gone up,
going
yeah.
up, man. This is
I
the thing.
thought you were gonna use
struggle
this.
with keeping tabs on pricing, so
Yeah,
you'll
man.
have to excuse me, guys, at home.
It's actually
Apologies.
nearing
80.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. What? All right. Well, listen.
Well, that's
It's a big, fat, very, very, very
fucking
strong
hell.
buy then.
I
for
mean,
this Glen Scotia
£73
15.
Amazon.
Really?
That's interesting.
I think what's interesting for me is, like, if you get to the Battle of the 15... I know we're going completely off topic now. We get to the Battle of the 15s. I think, for me, the winner of that...
Yeah. You cannot say. We will hold it. Sorry about that, guys. Ian nearly blew his load on camera there.
You just blew somebody's eardrums.
We're not having that. We're not having that now, mate. We're talking about Glen
Dun,
Scotia.
dun, dun.
Catch us next time about the 15s. If that's how
be
you want to see,
continued.
drop it in the comments below. Drop it in the comments below. Thank you so much. Can't tell people, mate. Listen. That's
Name
not on.
Bonnet 15? What's that
There
retail
isn't
at?
one.
Sorry,
There's no
what are we
15
doing,
over.
guys? Guys, this is not cool. This is not.
All right, the Bordeaux
Moving on.
finish.
No, we're on the Glen Scotia 15.
We've done it.
It's a buy.
Yeah.
It's a buy.
3 buys.
It's a very strong buy. Now let's move on to the Bordeaux. Thank you, guys. Behave yourselves, all right? Fuck it out. Bordeaux finish. This is the Campbeltown
Behave ourselves, you say?
Malt Festival
choosing again, are we?
2021.
Sea of glass.
2021.
Chink it.
2021 Campbeltown Malts Festival exclusive release, 10 years old, Bordeaux finish, only 5 months, Bit disappointing. What do we think? Just on the finish, it's great whiskey.
I bought a bottle back in the day. I think I only paid like 40 quid for it. Like,
Nice.
It was a bargain. So I already bought one. It's a buy.
Cool.
Just don't pay the fucking 150 quid of whatever those.
That's
People are
steep.
asking.
That's not on. That's not cool.
Yeah.
Stevie?
Well, I bought one. Yeah,
And are you happy with that purchase, sir?
I am actually. Actually, it is really yummy. I did enjoy it. I didn't know what to expect, but I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
It's a buy at retail or auction again.
40, 50, 60 pounds.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Yeah.
40 to 60 quid. I'm with you. I'm in. I'm a buy. I'm happy. I do want more. But that's not a bad thing. That's, you're onto something here. Do it again.
You know what they say though, mate.
Do it again.
If you want something done properly,
Do it yourself.
correct.
Hey, listen, Loch Lomond, get in contact. I'll buy a cask of Glen Scotia off you any day. I'll buy 5. Let me see if I can recreate your OBs differently. I was going to say better. That wouldn't encourage them to sell them to me, would it? No. Differently. Moving forward, all right.
To
So
Becky Paskins, but it actually isn't Becky Paskins.
Becky Paskin, sans Becky Paskin.
Yeah.
The 11-year-old white port, lightly peated,
54.7.
54.7.
I mean, 65 quid is very strong buy.
Yeah.
It's a very strong buy. I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay.
It is a buy again from me. I for some reason I had this peppery note that really
Didn't come through this time around.
not at all. I think maybe because it was neck pour and all of that. Haven't had too much out of that. I think I probably drank more of yours when it's been opened.
Good for you.
But letting it sit, and I actually opened all of these last night for a good few hours, if that does anything. But placebos are awesome. This today was, we're talking cream and fruits and brine, and yeah, it's a at that price I get another one.
Yeah.
I can get it. Yep.
Cool. For me, at £65, this is a big fat oosh. It's delicious. It's everything I want and more. It's Glen Scotia on fucking steroids. It's deliciousness. It's beautiful. I want to meet the person who found it. And I will marry them. And we will have whiskey children. No, I'm joking. But genuinely speaking, it's incredible. It's just being stupid. It's beautiful whiskey. It's really, really, really delicious. And I have genuinely purchased white port casks on the back of this to try and do something.
That's
Do you know what I mean? That says it all. This
cool.
genuinely put a fork in my whiskey journey where I was like, fuck, there's something else to consider. Like, what else could I ask for? But that. Beautiful whiskey, big fat oosh. If you haven't got one, buy one. Moving forward, we had the Gordon MacPhail 23-year-old. This was single bourbon cask 50. Oh, I'm forgetting all the percentages. Sorry,
This is
guys.
56.2 after
56.2.
23 years. Nearly 24.
24 years.
So it is, well, it's 23, not quite to this, but yeah, most of the way towards 24.
For sure. £200.
So I think 210.
£210. £210. You've purchased it.
Already bought one.
Thank you so much for cracking it with us. Are you happy with your purchase? Would you buy it again if you had the option to kind of...
Absolutely. This
Yeah.
is fucking delicious stuff.
Yeah.
I think that given it a bit of time and air, like I might come back in 6 months, or if we do our bottles of the year,
Right.
like, it could come back to that.
Be pleasantly surprised by how much it's...
But how much it's got better. It's a strong buy for me at the minute. It's not quite like the white port, not quite an oosh, but it's
On its way.
It's on its way.
Cool. I'm with you.
£210.
Yeah.
I might have to go buy one. It's an oosh. It's a strong buy. It's an oosh.
Oof.
That's really yummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of my favourites of the day.
It is good.
As you say, whether it's peat dissipated or was unpeated, I don't care.
Yeah.
There was so much fruit. It was so delicate. Listen, spent time, getting to that point. And once again, it's the is it the concierge choice or
Connoisseurs.
connoisseur's choice?
Concierge choice. I like that. That should be a line. That's good. I like
Would
that.
make more sense, right?
It's the concierge's choice. Have you got a concierge? No, fuck off.
Yeah, they're always absolute stunners.
Yeah.
You know, so again, another one that Gordon MacPhail.
No, yeah, they are.
hasn't
They're
failed
on the slightly dearer side for your average drinker, I would say, definitely. But they always slap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sorry, how much is the 25-year-old Glen Scotia OB?
Yeah. What exactly?
Oh, the 25-year-old is now like, I think I'm going to say 425, something like that. And even the 21-year-old is
250, 300? Yeah.
250.
Is it 250?
And they're both at 46%, whereas obviously there's a single cask and cask strength that, you know,
Can't
210.
argue that at all. Can't
Yeah, and the
argue
Glen
that.
Scotia 30 is
At all.
£2,000. So you know what I mean. So, you know, for suddenly 200 quid doesn't seem like a lot of money when you compare it to that. Yeah, it's a fucking oosh.
Nice. It's a very, very strong buy. I'm delighted how excited you are, and I agree with what you said. I think leave this a hot fucking minute. Now that you've got rid of that neck pour, you're going to really find a beautiful dram on your shelf, and I wouldn't be surprised if it reappears later on in the year for a Whiskies of the Year. Banging whiskey, very, very strong buy. £210. It's a lot of money, but when you spend it like this, well done, sir. Well done. Yes. And finally, we finished off Tawny Port, 5-year-old, distillery exclusive. I think these were £45 a piece.
Oh, wow.
Were they?
But they may have been more.
Were they?
I think so.
Oh, I was going to say I think they were 55.
Were they 50? Hey, listen, this is a year and a half ago on a fucking,
So, I mean,
brisk morning when I was trying to remember
in January.
Who you were.
Yeah.
It's not what I was going to go for, but yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much what it was.
It was a long week.
It was a long
For
week.
price comparison, the 7-year-old Ruby Port from this year's festival was £90.
Fuck. Okay.
I think you're right. It was between 50 and 60 quid.
I think.
All right, let's say
Because I
55
think the 7-year-old...
It was a 5. It was definitely something. It was.
Yeah. This is
55.
This
It was
is,
50.
I think 55.
Let's say 55 then.
fuck
Sorry.
me.
£55. Coming to you faster.
I look at 55. Like, I mean, this is one of those ones where you fucking like. The age statement does it no favors.
Yeah.
If you had this as like a Nas or like, you know, whatever else at 55 quid, you'd be like, this is fucking banging. People are going to look at it and be I would buy 5-year-old whiskey. I didn't buy old whiskey.
For sure.
Oosh.
Oh! Ha, ha, ho! It's an oosh. That's the first oosh you've been back in the studio with us for a minute now. Yes!
Welcome back.
Welcome back, sire. Stevie?
Yeah, I double that. It's an oosh.
Oh!
Yeah.
This has fucking blown us out of the water here. This was questionable whether it should even be part of the lineup.
Bang
a
for
second
your buck.
Yeah.
Right? It really is. And exactly that. If I had this blind, I'd be saying all sorts of silly things about it in terms of, oh, this must be, you know. And I think you're right. You see 5 years, nah. You fucking taste that. Jesus. It's delicious.
Yeah, fair. 2 big fat ooshes. I'm going to give it a strong buy. I'm not quite where you guys are at, and I'll tell you as to why. I opened this, I think, the day we left the distillery, right?
Sure.
Driving down back south. You were driving. I was drinking. That's the way we rock, right? And it was a little bit hot straight off the open. You know, neck pour, it wasn't quite doing it for me. Then I came back to it again, and it was a bit better. And coming back to it again now, it's got that much more depth. And so I think it's mellowed now. It's gotten to a point where I'm really quite enjoying it. And that 5-year-old age statement isn't jumping out of the glass, but it's just there. It is what it is. The alcohol is mellowed a little bit more. I think where it is now, it's beautiful. Really, really great. Delicious whiskey, and it's a very strong buy. What it's making me want to do, is go back and try more of their distillery exclusives. And I've got another distillery exclusive at home, which is sealed. I've got another one of these and then a different one. But what I think is great about Glen Scotia, and I think it's something that we kind of briefly touched on, is, you know, it's not all about, it has to be 10, it has to be 15, it has to be 25, whatever the fuck. They are a little bit more willing to be a little bit more creative. And it's not being creative from the point of view of guesswork, of like, Will it work? Will it not? Let's see. Kind of like Bruichladdich did at the turn of the century with all the different wine casks, which turned out great and I loved them. But like, it's a little bit more like, let's just trial and error a few things as they go. And I think that's what's wonderful about it. I think there is a little bit of something for everyone here coming out of Glen Scotia. And yeah, to pick this up for £55,
Definitely.
you're laughing. So it's a very strong buy. Great to hear that we've got 2 ooshes there on the last dram, though. And a really, really strong lineup. Guys, if you've enjoyed the episode, please drop in the comments what you've sampled out of our lineup, what you've tried otherwise that you think maybe we should come back to. Is there anything that we've missed discussing Glen Scotia? For all of us here at Uncut and Unfiltered, that has been the Glen Scotia episode. I've thoroughly enjoyed it,
What a
gents.
fantastic distillery.
Thank you for bringing. I mean, Stevie, this is largely your lineup, so thank you, sir. I know we've got a few of them ourselves.
That 23.
That 23 is brilliant. Thank you, Ian, for bringing that. You're very good. Always sharing. I suppose that wraps up the episode, really. On to the next. But for all of you at home, thank you so much for joining. This has been Uncut and Unfiltered, trialing Glen Scotia single malt scotch. We will see you next time. Slàinte mhath.
So,